Hello and welcome to the Pride of Irons YouTube channel. Thanks for looking in. We're playing Man United this weekend. So one of my guests today is Natalie from the Barmy Army. So Nat, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I've been watching Man Utd Women since it basically started. I'm the founder, the chairperson of the Barmy Army. A lot of people, if you do watch the WSL, if you've come across Man Utd Women, you'll know about us. We're the loud bunch at the back. Got flags, we've got songs. We just like to get it going, and I think I wasn't a massive fan of women's football, not because of anything. I was just a massive fan of Man United, and I think once we got that women's team, it's just easy to come across. It's an extra game, it's an extra team, um, and yeah, I've just fallen in love with our girls, and we're on this journey all together, and it just feels special, and can't wait to see what this season's going to bring us.
Yeah, brilliant. We've all heard the Barmy Army. I think my ears still ringing, I think, from last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and we've got Zoe from the West Ham United Women's Supporters Club. Zoe, do you just want to catch everyone up just a little bit about yourself as well, Zoe?
Yeah, obviously, I work in the horse racing media, so that's a pretty full-on job for me. But very passionate about women's football, having played myself, and so I've watched the WSL from when it first came into existence, and then England before that, and obviously a huge West Ham United women's supporter. So yeah, it's just been great to see the league develop and get to where we are now today.
Totally, totally. Right, so I'm going to jump straight in. Right, so I mean, look, you're fourth in the league, right? You're flying at the moment. You've not lost the match. You drew against Chelsea, right? That's
Yeah.
yeah, bad memory, yeah. And obviously, our ex West Ham girl Jane Ross seems to be finding the net for
Yeah.
you as well. So I guess you're happy how the season's going so far, on that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't expect us to get a point at Chelsea. I think there was rumours of, I mean, we're going to go on to them, all these signings coming in, but we didn't have them all. And I think Chelsea had harder, obviously Sam Kerr had been there, so you expected a big things. And
Yeah.
I think the fact that we got that point with basically the same team it was last last year, and Casey, the way she played it, she played a real blinder for me that day. She had Jackie Groden on the bench and then brought her on with about 30 minutes to go, and she just changed the game. I think Tooney had a really good game that day as well. And just one touch past the movement, and it ended up 1-1. We were all ecstatic. Obviously, we went to Birmingham. Didn't go quite as well. We went up. Jane Ross scored. Thought, here we go. And then they got two back, but then we came through and won it. And we've had a little hiccup in the Conti Cup against Liverpool. I know a lot of our fans were really upset. I could tell Gaffer was really upset, all the players. And we came back against Spurs from that game, and we got a 1-0, which was tough. It was a tough game, Spurs. It always is. It was a lot tougher than last year for us there. I think that was one of our best away performances last year, and the fact that they made us work for it a lot, Spurs. It makes me worried, but nervous. But it shows that even when we're in the bad patch, we can grind out them results.
That's it now. I think when I'm looking at your team, not that I watch every match, I don't, just we don't have the time to watch everyone's matches, right? I'd love to, but we just don't. But I think with you, it's the mentality. I think it's the belief as well that your whole squad has got. And I think for us as a team, I mean, it was Edmund, wasn't it? She said the other day that we need to show faith in our ability when attacking to get back to the winning ways. So, Zoe, I mean, we don't want to delve in too much, but how do you think our season's going compared to Man United?
Frustrating. It's so hard to put a finger on what's gone wrong again. And I think compared to where we were this stage last season, I know we had played 6 games, but we had more points, and we've only got 1 point from 4 games, and that for me is a concern. Spurs game, brilliant. Thought we were great. Arsenal game, ref changed that, and that was it. And against Arsenal for 60 minutes, you're always going to come off second best, if not third or fourth best, because you just can't compete at that high level. But the last 2 games have just been so frustrating. There's been flashes of great play, and but I think the first 20 to 25 minutes of our play, we're just not at the races for any reason. And to say I'm concerned is an understatement, but what I've seen is I think we're paying the price for not having brought in another striker who has WSL experience. Because yes, Rachel Daly is a great signing, but Martha Thomas being out injured since the start of the season, it's come back to bite us very badly.
Yeah, you're right. We definitely need another out and out striker. And we've definitely felt it while Martha's been off. I mean, she's just back on the pitch now, actually kicking a ball about, which was great to see. I was like, sigh of relief, you know. You know what it's like, Nat, when one of you're injured and then you suddenly see something in the press, like, yeah. But yeah, so it's it's going to be a tough ride for us, I think, for a while. And that's another show as well, because I think there's a lot more to talk about. And don't want to bore Natalie on that, do we? So no. So anyway, no, we'll come back to you now, because I mean, look, we've had an influx of NWSL players come into the WSL, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, you've had like Tobin Heath and Press. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I was just saying before to some fans, like, when it dropped, I didn't believe it. I could not believe it. I didn't think it was real. And you wouldn't, because they've just won the World Cup, you know, 2 times World Cup winners. Kristen Press, I absolutely adored her as well. And I know I don't want to go, you know, upset anyone, but she scored that goal, that rocket in the She Believes. And I was like, wow. And the way everyone talks about her on Twitter, I was like, oh my God. And then when they said, oh, they're coming to Man United, I couldn't believe it. And then when it dropped, oh, just like, I'm sure everyone's heard, like, the way they were selling shirts. I mean, just that hype when the videos dropped. This is even before they got released on quarantine. Just the hype when the videos dropped. It was like I was on top of the world. It's like, you know, we've just won the World Cup, Man United, because we're only 2 years old and we're signing players like that. And I mean, yeah, it's a year, but for me, they're not at the best yet. You know, Tobin, I think, is a bit further ahead than Kristen. But I think they're going to come into their own. I think they got a lot of minutes against Spurs. Tobin got 90 minutes. She got an assist. She's had an assist before against Brighton. I didn't bring that game up, but Tobin looks absolutely quality, and just the way that they hit the ball and it just goes direct. It goes exactly where you want it. And I'm not saying that, you know, we've got a lot of young players. Tooney's coming through, doing a lot. Hansen on the wing, on the right wing. But just these girls too that we brought in for our team. And I know, you know, Zoe talks about Rachel Daly. That was a player that I was thinking, oh, won't mind if we sign her. And that's who I thought we were going to get just before. And then obviously that dropped. You know, it's just changed our attack, and it's just added options, added dynamic, added something that I never thought I'd see. You know, even in the men's team, when I was talking about these 2 signings, I was saying it's like Messi and Ronaldo, and that's how, you know, that's how good it feels for me that they've come into our team. And I don't think I'll ever have a feeling like those 2 brought, and I just need to see them hopefully like build up their fitness and do it on the pitch. And if they do it like they did in the World Cup, I think, you know, I think everyone else.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on there, Nat, as always. Anyway, but you know, I think as well, it's like you said, you know, you've got a lot of young girls in your squad as well. You know, so they can really learn from these 2, and I think more than anything, that's going to take you guys especially forward for the next 4 or 5 seasons, I reckon. To be fair, if you can hold on to your signings. I mean, Zoe, I'm going to run over to you. What do you think about all this?
I mean, I think it's great. I think, you know, it obviously shows in the 10 years that the WSL has grown to a standard where American players will consider it. And I know that at the moment there is the situation with COVID over in the States, which has forced a lot of these players to come over. But I remember when Carly Lloyd came over to Manchester City, and she was arguably the trailblazer. And then we've had Heather O'Reilly. And then this year we've had so many come over.
And it pauses.
Such a standard of play for the women's environment that all these players are going to learn. I think my trepidation about it is when we come to this time next year, are they going to come over? And I think we need to ensure that we've got the balance of these American players coming over and, you know, raising the caliber of the league, raising the profile of the game. But we need to make sure that they're not just doing it for one season and one season only, and also that our young talent doesn't get stymied. But they won't, because they will learn so much just by being around these players. And ultimately, that has a greater effect for the England women national team.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for the club as well, as you say, Natalie. You know, that the amount of shirts that you sold, you know, it's just unprecedented times, I think, not just due for COVID, for everything. And I really do think that, you know, WSL, I think I've said this before in the past, is that, you know, I think we've got one of the best, or if not the best league at the moment in the world. But so if I go back over to you, though, just going to go, what player on both sides do you expect to be the most dangerous?
For Manchester United, it would have to be Lucy Staniforth for me. She orchestrates that midfield. Whichever team she has played in over the years, she pulls the strings. And she's a box-to-box midfielder in my eyes. Great passer of the ball. Obviously, she had a suspension running into the start of the season, so she obviously didn't start, you know, a couple of games, I don't think, off the top of my head. But I honestly, she is a fantastic player. And I think we have some problems in the middle of the park. And if we give her the time and space, we're going to get punished. But I think she's perhaps gone a little bit underrated, you know, in these few matches for Manchester United. But she'll probably like that because she's letting all the big players take the shine and she's still pulling the strings. She's very dangerous from outside the box too. So I wouldn't be surprised if she has a few attempts on goals. West Ham, it's tricky. I'm going to have to stick with Kenza Dali. I think she's shown in these last few matches how much of a top-class footballer she is. You know, she had some lovely touches against Everton, played really well, got rewarded with a goal. She scored against Arsenal. And when we've needed her, she's really stepped up. That's not to say our other players aren't, but she just has that quality that seems to bring everyone up another level and generate, you know, chances. And I think if she's on top form this weekend, then yeah, she'll be very hard to deal with.
Okay.
I agree.
Nat?
Well, I'll start on your lot. I am worried about this game, and I think we were okay against Spurs. We came through it, got 3 points, but wasn't the best performance. And obviously last year, what happened, the way we just, for me, I think we threw it away. That was one of our worst performances away. Just because, you know, I think you guys wanted it more, and I think you weren't in the greatest run then, and you used that game to motivate your whole team and, you know, push on for the rest of the season. And I'm a bit worried, you know, Casey always talks about there's a target on your back, there's a target on your back. And I'm sure if West Ham went and won on Sunday, God, it would lift the whole club and everyone would be buzzing about it. And so I am worried about, like Zoe said, Kenza, she scored, she looked good. I'm worried, like what you said, Joe. Martha, is it Marta Thomas?
Yeah.
She's back. I'm worried again about her. I love watching, even when we were in a championship, I love watching it. Lehman, I love watching her. I think she did really well when we played you. Your plays last year, she's got, but that's always someone in the England youth setup I've always had my eye on. I always think that she's a quality fullback. So I saw little bits. I think I saw the WSL did a little, like her touches, like a touch from out the sky, and it looked class. And, you know, definitely give Maz time. I really rate Maz. I think she's a great player. So I'm worried that, you know, you guys are going to be dead up for it. And I just think if we take our foot off the gas at any point, then you're going to punish us. And I'm a bit concerned. I mean, think for us though, if we do go out there like, bang, this is Man United, you know, let's go out, get 3 points. I think Jackie Groenen has been bossing it for us in the middle of the park. I think she was our best player the last 2 games. You know, Spurs, she was up against Alana Kennedy, who's a really quality player from the NWSL, like we were talking about. Tall, strong, and Jackie, she's not like the tallest, not the strongest, but, you know, she's fighting 4 players off. I think she looks like a different player this year for us. Last year, even against West Ham, I think there was times where she got pushed off the ball. There was times against other teams she got pushed off the ball. Seeing that less from her, seeing definitely a stronger performance. And I think she can really punish you guys, hopefully. You know, her through balls are excellent. I think, you know, Tobin, I keep saying her name, but play some through balls to her. I think this time, hopefully she gets on the score sheet. This is the time for her. And then like the young English ones, Alessia Russo, from a different class. I think she's that level of striker that we needed, pressing from the front. Ella Toon, different class. She's made the England squad again. Those young ones alongside, like you say, the experienced Jackie, Tobin, Kristen, I think, and then Lucy Stan experience brought in. I agree with Zoe, she's gone under the radar, but you know, maybe she might start, maybe she might come off the bench. But yeah, definitely I want to see some shots from her, and let's get some goals for United. But like you say, I'm not, you know, I think maybe this is a game where last year I think we underestimated you. I think we're on a good run. I think we're on a good run now, unbeaten, and that's what I'm worried about. I don't want us to underestimate it, and I don't think they will with Casey, because I think we've been beating the Conti Cup, and I think, you know, you can't take games for granted now in the WSL, so I don't think that we will. But you know, I'm just a bit, I'm worried. So you guys are worried, I'm worried too.
Yeah, but it'd be boring if we was winning everything all the time. You wasn't worried, right? I think that's the thing. But I think you're right now. I think for us, I think this is a make or break game, because I think there's something fundamentally wrong. Because on paper we just look amazing, you know, and we show signs of absolute magic. But so yeah, but it's it's worrying times. Sorry, do you want to add, Zoe? Sorry.
Just agree. I think we're heading into another international break after this game, and I think if we don't win it, it's just going to send the mood of the team even lower. So, I mean, I'm not looking forward to it at all. I've watched the last few games through my fingers, and I fear it's going to be another one of those on Sunday.
Yeah, I've got no nails left. But anyway, listen, Nat, what do the fans, it's a silly question, but what do the fans think of the manager?
You know, she is Man United DNA, Casey Stoney. I was saying to some fans before, you know, she's not come from our club. She's not got any links to our club, but she's just embraced it totally. She understands it. When you listen to her speak, she just speaks like how you expect a Man United manager to speak. Youth, that's what we build our club. That's our DNA, and you're bringing it through. You know, I've just mentioned some young English players, but the fact that she brought like Tooney, she's one of ours. You know, Katie Zellum, one of ours. Millie Turner, all come through. Even Kirsty Hansen, all come through our ranks, and she brought them all back. And for me, she's really building that team bond, team unity, and showing what Man United means. And I think we're having a great impact on the WSL. You know, we're helping, whether it's through the Barmy Army being crazy and this and that, but you know, and her style of play, attacking, never give up, determination, and the fearlessness that you should play when you're playing for Man United. And I think I love Casey. I tell her every time. I mean, we're not seeing them for ages, but I tell her all the time. I say, Gaffer, you're amazing, and she just goes, no, you are amazing. And I think that's what it is. I think anyone heard Tobin and Kristen speak about, when they speak about Casey, it's amazing, and that's what it is. But she says, no, it's not about me, it's about everyone else, and it's that humility as well. And you know, we'd be nothing without her. Like, I know it sounds dead over dramatic, but she is Man United, and I can't wait.
Everything you want in a manager. Sorry, Nat, pause there. But yeah, it's everything you want in a manager, and I think we feel the same. I think she's great fit as well for Man United. And I mean, I know Hope Powell won September's WSL Manager of the Month, but I think that she should have had a shout with that, to be fair. But yeah, listen, I'm going to go on to one of the last things, because we can chat for hours. I can feel this going on for hours, but I've noticed as well a couple of us are cutting out now and again. So I'm going to try and get a move on. All right. So look, going to go over to you, Zoe. All right. The first goal scorer of the weekend's match.
Oh, blimey. You put me on the spot there. Kenzadali.
Oh, okay. Nat?
Tobin Heath.
Yeah, Yeah, I think they're both great shouts, to be fair. I'm gonna say nothing on that one. But yeah, and what do you reckon the score's gonna be as well, Natalie?
Oh, 3-1, hopefully to United. Obviously, for us, it's big. We need to get 3 points. I wish West Ham well throughout the whole season. And, like I agree with you when you say this is the time, this is the, it is. Everything's pointing towards you, in my opinion. But we can't afford to drop points now. We're pushing for the top 3. We've got to win every game. So for me, I take a 1-0, but I can see it maybe being a 3-1 or a 3-2. But we've got to get the 3 points.
I think if you win, you're going to win big with us. I think that's the thing. That's it. I think if you, I hate saying if you're going to win, I think you could easily get like a 3-1, 4-1 out of us, to be fair. Because if we lose it mentally. Zoe, I'm going to throw the question to you as well.
I'm being slightly optimistic here because this depends on us, scoring more goals than we have done in games and actually getting ourselves back into it. But I'm going to go 3-3. And I think that would, if we got a draw from it, I'd be very happy. If I'm being totally honest, I think we'll lose the game. But I've gone with the slightly optimistical side of my head and gone 3-3. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
I'd take that. But I just, 3-3, and I think that would be nice. 6 goals, it's always nice, but it just does depend on us getting ourselves back in it if we go behind.
That's it. And listen, Natalie, thanks for joining. It's been great chatting to you. And when we play again, we'll have you back again, and we can also go over the match today that's coming up in a couple of days time. And Zoe, again, thanks for joining us. Listen, anything you want to say before we go, Natalie?
Just thanks for having me on. We're all part of the women's network for the FSA, so that's really big. And just everyone, just join the FSA, join the women's network, join obviously Pride of Irons, join Barmy Army, join West Ham women supporters, and let's keep growing the game.
Great stuff, Nat. Love what you do. Zoe?
Just echo everything that Nat said there. Said it perfectly. So yeah, just do the same with everything that she said.
Again, listen, thanks again, peeps. I've got a feeling this is going to carry on for another hour once I shut this down. But thanks again for joining us. I'm going to have everyone's details in the information below. Please subscribe. Thanks ever so much for joining us even. And we'll catch you again soon. Bye.